I've been saying Shanghai wrong my whole life.
Oh,
is
gosh.
it Shanghai instead of Shanghai? Is that the correct way to say it?
Oh, you mean it's not Shanghai?
It's not Shanghai.
Shanghai.
My southern ass. Shanghai. Oh my God. You guys, if you're listening to this, say it again.
Well, now I'm so hyper aware of it, Shanghai.
It's Shanghai.
Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I said it wrong the whole year I was in China. People are like, who do you think you are? Shanghai. I'm so fancy.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, nerds. You guys, I'm so excited for you to meet our next guest. She had one of the coolest jobs in the world. A few years ago, she did a 2-year stint as Walt Disney's World Ambassador. What? This job is beyond cool. She basically got to do a ton of amazing stuff, including being on Ellen, GMA, Wheel of Fortune. Ever heard of it? So representing Disney all over the world. And as if that isn't cool enough, she held roles inside some of cool Disney programs. So she's worked in startups and now she holds down a role in corporate communications. So Cait is an absolute delight and we're going to cover a whole wide range of topics today. Everyone, meet Cait.
Thank y'all so much. I'm so excited to be here, friends.
So happy you're here. Okay, let's start off with the good stuff. I heard through the grapevine that you have 4 free passes to Disney parks for life. Is this true?
I do. I have a lifetime pass, which is such a cool benefit. But it's funny because typically the only people that get lifetime passes are those that have been with the company for a certain amount of years and then retire. So every now and then I'll go to, I went to Disneyland Paris and they were like, oh, are you a retiree? And I was like, oh my gosh, my face cream's not working. Because no one's heard of this because it's so few of us. But yes, we do have a lifetime pass of all the parks around the world.
You're like, how dare you ask me? Honestly.
And they're just so confused. I was like, oh no.
Who do you think you are? Oh my gosh. So you've been to every Disney park, huh? Like globally?
I've been to every Disney park globally. I've been to Alani in Hawaii. I've been on all the Disney cruise ships. So you can say we're a bit of a Disney family.
That's incredible. Which park is your favorite?
Oh, this is always the question. And it's very hard to answer because I love them all for different reasons. I will say Tokyo Disney Sea is just a glorious resort. You can tell they put a ton of money into it. It's also partially owned by the Japanese government too. So it's like larger than life. It is absolutely gorgeous. But I will also always love Shanghai Disneyland because we lived there for about a year. So that feels like a second home park to me almost. And it's home to the best Disney ride in the entire world. So I'm very sad that most people won't get to ride it here unless they go to Shanghai.
What is that ride?
Pirates of the Caribbean. So it is, I'm sure, yes, it's so good. I'm sure a lot of people have been on it in Disneyland, in California or here at Walt Disney World. But the one in Shanghai it's crazy. I mean, it's huge. It's immersive. You feel like you're in the ocean during a storm with the pirates shoot. I can't even really describe it, but it is the best ride that Disney Imagineering has ever done.
Into it. I love those movies so much. Also, not to mention, I've been saying Shanghai wrong my whole life.
Oh,
is it Shanghai instead of Shanghai? Is that the correct way to say it?
Oh, you mean it's not Shanghai?
It's not Shanghai.
Shanghai.
My southern ass. Shanghai. Oh my God. You guys, if you're listening to this, say it again.
Well, now I'm so hyper aware of it, Shanghai.
It's Shanghai.
Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I said it wrong the whole year I was in China. People are like, who do you think you are? Shanghai. I'm so fancy.
Did you? So you lived there for a whole year. That's pretty crazy. What was that like? Like giant culture shock city, I'm sure.
Yes. Culture shock is the right way to say it. However, that's what I was looking for. I was at this point in my life where I was feeling like, oh, the white picket fence walls are coming in. And I feel like life's too predictable and I need a challenge. I like feeling uncomfortable sometimes. People think it's weird. But bless my husband. One day I was like, so I applied to work in China. Would you do that?
What do you think?
It's better to ask for forgiveness rather than permission. I like how you applied first and then you're like, hey, so I got this job in China. Are we going? And you were married at that point, right?
We were. So we were kind
Oh
of
my God. Andrew is such a gem. This guy's the best.
In my defense, it was a little bit mimosa induced, the decision to apply. I was on a girls' weekend, New York City, like, guys, remember we were young and wild and we did crazy things? I'm just going to apply for this job in China. And that's kind of what started it.
Oh my gosh. You say to Andrew, you're like, super sorry. I was a little drunk, but I am very qualified and I probably will get this job.
Yeah, the job was you were teaching English, right?
Yeah, we're teaching English.
Nice.
So definitely an adventure.
Okay, actually, Kenny and I were just having a conversation the other day about things like little side hustle kind of jobs you can do in order to be able to travel. Like, would you recommend that to other people, like teaching English in other countries?
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people actually do it too. So there are a lot of countries, especially in Asia, that have people come to teach English as a second language. So I know a lot of people have done programs in South Korea, in Thailand, in Japan and China. So it's definitely a great way to, you have a job set up and usually they help you with the visa process and they help you get housing. So that was a really great way for us to kind of get integrated into the culture there.
Cool. What did Andrew do while you guys were there?
The same thing. So I told him, like, you should probably apply for this as well.
Oh my gosh, how funny.
So he's a good sport. I really appreciate him. And he actually had a great time. He really, really loved being there. So it was a great experience overall.
I love that. Okay, wait, let's go back to Disney for 1 second. Kenny keeps bragging about how he's done the VIP tour and how you hooked him up with it. What is the VIP tour at Disney? What is it? How do I get in? Tell me more.
So the VIP tour is a really awesome tour where you get a dedicated tour guide for a number of hours. And they not only bring you through the parks because they're experts, right? They know, like, we should go to this location first and this attraction. You also get special transportation. So you can go to multiple parks in a day because you just hop in this special, luxury van backstage and they'll spirit you to all the parks and you just pop into the ride like, hi, I'm here. So I think, how long were we out for maybe?
I think we started at 1 and then we ended with the fireworks. So that was our day. And yeah, you're right. You basically get whisked away in like an Escalade. You pop backstage. Someone's greeting you with water and snacks, which free water and snacks, especially when you get to the other side of the fence and the water's like $6.
Nothing better.
That free water just hits a little different. And it was really cool. So Cait basically was gracious enough to include me and my wife in on this. And we just walked on every ride. There was no lines. You just walk straight on the ride. And I think my favorite part, and this is probably the dark, bad part of me, is as I was walking past the common people, I was looking at them and they were looking at me. And they were like, is he famous? Is he rich? Is he powerful? The answer to all those are no. But for that one tiny second, I felt like the man in Disney World.
The move for him too was the sunglasses.
Oh, you got to have the sunglasses.
You got to have the dark shades. You're like, just it gives a little extra.
Did you give a sunglasses tilt when you walked by?
There was this one girl that was in a sundress and I kind of did do the tilt. And then my wife was like, stop that.
Quit making her think that you're a billionaire. Sick of that shit.
He was really living the role. He just really leaned in.
I mean, if I'm going to go all in, I'm going all in.
Dude, I don't blame you. I would I'd probably be pulling. I'd be like, what? Wish you were over here?
Yeah, I actually did something super embarrassing. I Googled, what does Bradley Cooper wear as a disguise around New York City? And then I just made that my outfit for the day.
We did have a couple of people stop to ask, like, Bradley? Oh, sorry. No. So there were a couple double takes for sure.
Because all you can see is the eyes, and from this little tiny part, if you just shrink me down, real small. Everything else, not a chance. But just if you shrink me down just to little tiny eyes, maybe. I don't know.
If you squint from a distance, it looks just like it. Oh, that's funny. Cait, I want to talk about points. Are you points familiar? Do you book your flights with your airline miles or use your credit card points to get rewards and things like that?
Oh, I sure do, Connor. It is the only way to travel.
Do I ever? Well, tell me, or guys, tell the audience, how can you be more savvy with points?
Well, first of all, as a cautionary tale, make sure you're keeping track of all your credit cards and points. Do not let those things expire. Do not let yourself accumulate fees for not paying. So the points game, you gotta play it responsibly. Everyone. And also, I think it's about knowing which points are most useful for you and the way that you travel. I know I have some friends that swear by Delta miles and are loyal Delta fans, and Delta's an incredible airline. Case in point right here, Mr. Time, this guy right here. And I do love Delta, but honestly, for me, I need something with a little bit more versatility. And I love my Ultimate Rewards points. So I have a lot of Chase products because they have Ultimate Rewards points. And I just feel like their rewards, their calendar, their mileage calendar is pretty versatile. And I've always loved using Ultimate Rewards. So that's kind of been my go-to. I've had Southwest credit cards, which also play into that arena. So for me, it's Ultimate Rewards. And I will say that right now I have over 500,000 points that are just sitting there.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Holy shit. So how do you end up cashing those in? Like by booking flights, and you can use them for hotels, or how does this work?
You can use them for hotels. I think the international flights are the best value to get for them. I've used them for hotels in the past, but I'm toying with the idea of using for hotel only because we don't have any big trips planned. Like I've used my Ultimate Rewards points to fly. I know, it's not like me. Look, mom life. But I've used my points to fly. We've gone to Africa twice on points. We've been to Thailand on points, Indonesia on points. Like we've gone all over the world and not had to pay for our flights. So I just love that. So now I have over 500,000 points and I'm not exactly sure what to do with them. We were thinking Norway, but we might just do Colombia, which is a 3-hour direct flight on Spirit. So I don't feel like using points is the best utilization there.
Yeah,
so
never use points on Spirit. Like that's just, I know we're not supposed to talk bad about the airlines, but don't use your points on Spirit.
No, or anything domestic, really. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been on Spirit and I think the folks are lovely, but for a points value perspective, that face, Kevin.
Mr. Opinions over here. Opinions.
Is talking so loud. I'd rather use the points on international flights. Maybe a little upgrade to business class every now and then. Get the lounge access. That's where it's at.
Yes, that's amazing.
Now, Cait, so people hear 500,000 points and are like, wow, that's a lot of points. What is your and your husband's strategy for credit cards of spending? Do you put everything on one card? Do you spread it out? Because 500,000 points, you have to spend a considerable amount of money to make 500,000 points. So what do you have to spend and how long did it take you to build up there?
That's an excellent question. Well, I will say that some of our points have been from sign-up bonuses. I know Chase offers some really great products. We had the Chase Reserve for a while, and I think it came with 100,000 point sign-up bonus, but it came with a lot of – it also carried like a $495, I think, fee to pay. But you got priority access to the lounges. You got like a credit for travel. I think we got TSA PreCheck, global entry. So it came with a whole suite that kind of covered that $500. So we do have some points have been from sign-up bonuses. And then, yes, we put everything on our Chase Preferred. And that comes with a $95 a year fee, I think. But it allows you to keep your points. They don't expire. I can combine points. So if Andrew has a different card that has Ultimate Rewards, I can combine them all into one. So for me, it's worth keeping that card open for the flexibility and the longevity of the points. And yes, we put everything on that.
For a person like me who does have a Chase card, I have a Chase Sapphire card, and I don't know anything about the rewards I can get. Is this like you just go on their website and you kind of browse? Like, I'm sure I'm missing out on things that I already spend money on.
I've been out of the game for a little bit, but I know Chase also has a Freedom card that has no annual fee, and there's rotating categories every quarter where you get like multiple points, for groceries or for gas or things you normally spend money on. So if you really want to get deep into strategy, you can combine that with your preferred. But definitely check out just Google search like what the preferred comes with, because I'm sure it comes with some perks and benefits, not quite the level of the reserve. The reserve, you got a lot of value out of that card. I think just the priority pass lounge access alone is worth it. Because have you ever tried just purchasing a membership to priority pass, like not in conjunction with a card?
No.
I mean, Kenny, you probably don't need to, Kenny, because you probably have like Polaris access and...
I know. He's such a brat.
I don't even know because I don't even mess with it. I just fly Delta. So all I know is Sky. I know Sky Club. And when I have to slum it up in the Centurion Lounge in Vegas, which is always so packed. It's not.
Listen to him.
Well,
son of a.
Well, so what I would say is that Centurion Lounge, I would say across the board has better food than Sky Club. I just think that their offering is better. And, a lounge is a lounge. Like, just give me like a good seat. My only rub is whenever I go into a Centurion Lounge, it's packed. So you can't do anything. You can't find a seat. The food is being mobbed. The bar is mobbed. Everyone has this card. And what I'm asking them is just double the fee of the card so I don't have to see as many people. I'm like, I need this card to be twice as more expensive because honestly, too many people have it. It's ruining it. But
the elite only.
Only for Kenny and his sunglasses and his Bradley Cooper outfit.
If they doubled the annual fee that I paid for that card, it would be $1,400 a year.
That sounds more my speed. Yeah, that's better.
That is so bad.
All right. Speaking of points and cash, Cait, if I were to give you 300,000 points, not that I have it, but if I were to give you 300,000 points and $5,000 and you had 5 days off, where are you going? Who are you taking?
Only 5 days. Does that include travel time?
No, we'll give you 5 days in location. So you get 7 days. Look at you trying to negotiate with the fictitious.
5 days. I can't really get to Southern Africa.
All right.
It takes 2 days to travel there.
All right. Let's expand your horizons.
Let's give her 9 days.
9 days. Oh my God. Connor's so generous.
Thank you, Connor.
9 days.
I appreciate
I'll give you 9 days off work.
Oh, this is really tough. And how much money?
You have $5,000 cash and 300,000 points. And I
can only spend 5,000. I can't go over that.
I mean, you can dip into your own money, but you got to tell me what you're buying then.
Okay. So I could go 2 ways with this. If I only have the 5,000, I have to be judicious with how I spend that money. And the best place to do that is definitely Asia. Southeast Asia is fantastic. It does take a solid 48 hours to get there, though, which is why I had to negotiate a little bit on the travel time. But I do love Thailand. So I might have to do maybe some first class, round trip tickets to Thailand. And just get 90-minute massages every day because they're about $20. Yes, it's like you go in for a 60-minute. They're like, "Oh, would you like to upgrade to 90 minutes for whatever the currency is?" And it equates
for
to $5 extra.
Yes.
And I'm like, yes, please. I will do that.
Do they walk on your back?
Yes.
When they walk on your back.
They didn't walk on our backs there. They do the Thai massage. So this might sound really snooty, but I'm like, between Thai, Indonesian, and Chinese massage, I definitely think that Thai massage is my favorite.
Isn't that where they like really bend and stretch you?
They stretch you, yeah.
I was gonna say, I distinctly remember this little woman with her both knees on my back, and she grabs my shoulders, and I don't know what's about to happen, and she's like.
And you're just like splayed out. And you're like, what is happening?
My back literally makes the craziest noise. Like a body should not make this noise.
Oh my God, this is a real thing?
Yeah, it's a Thai massage.
Thai massage.
That's incredible.
So crazy. Yeah, I'd pay $20 to have that happen again. She was like, 100%. Are you okay? Because I was kind of freaking out.
A little, and there's no warning either. It's just like they grab your arms and here you are, and you're just pulled back and your body bends in ways you never thought. Modesty goes out the window.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you're going to Thailand. Is the food what I think it is? Is it like
the food?
Just unreal.
Food. It's just unreal. It's so good. I mean, again, really inexpensive, so fresh. Pineapple, fried rice, like everywhere. Oh gosh, I loved the food so much. It's funny because I know a lot of people love going to Hawaii, but I kind of feel like, y'all, Hawaii it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But for like, you're already traveling a bazillion hours for like a few more. Just go to Thailand. It's way less expensive. And I think the food's better.
Okay, so, good to know. I love Thai food. I have it like 3 nights a week.
Oh, you can find good Thai food around here?
I mean, it's not Thailand good, but...
nothing is.
But some rice noodles, not that hard, you know. There's some around me that I give too much money to this restaurant.
Oh gosh, well, you're downtown, so that's definitely, they got some good food options down there.
Yes. Wait, didn't you tell me a story about when you were over in like, it was Thailand or Indonesia or something, and you like broke down in a boat and it was potentially, you thought it was your final moment?
I did. You read those stories about tourists have unfortunate endings. You're like, oh, tourists. Well, this was my moment of that, where I was like, I'm going to be that story. We like to do things a little bit, like, I don't like organized group tours so much. I kind of like to make my own path. And we were in, I think it was Indonesia, and we wanted to do a longboat ride. So we hired a local, person that was suggested to us. The thing is, I think longboats are meant to be a bit more short distance, and you need something bigger with more of a motor if you're going to go far. But we were going to like some of the more remote islands, and on our way back, the motor completely stopped. The sun is going down. They have this very rudimentary, like tracking device on there. So I don't know how they're judging, like, where's the wind coming from? Where are the currents? So in my head, as the sun goes down, like, this is how it ends. We're just going to be lost to sea. And at one point they're taking their hands and like pushing the boat forward. And yeah, I was really like, oh, Andrew, it's been nice. We've lived an adventure. That's for sure.
I've had a really nice life. You just start saying things that you never got to tell him. Remember that one time that you thought you lost that thing? That was me. Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. They got the motor running. It was just very slow. So we kind of like just inched along, and I just held my breath until we got back. I was like, please just get back. Please just get back to land.
I mean, when you travel as much as you do and you've been to all these international places, I'm sure you have some crazy ass travel mistake stories. Yeah. It's bound to happen. Bound to happen. Oh my gosh. Any other crazy like trip mistake stories? Like, oh, we forgot to bring cash, or we got stranded somewhere.
Connor Ann, how much time do we have on this podcast? Because I could fill a whole podcast with my travel mishaps. My poor mother. She just waits for you to come back safely, I think, every time we leave.
But look at you now.
I feel like it's a lifetime of stories, right?
Yes. A life well lived.
Yeah. But yes, to all of the above. We've run out of money in various countries. One of my travel friends, Nathaniel, he was pickpocketed, and we literally traveled all of Turkey on the kindness of strangers with no actual cards or cash or money. So that was a good time.
What? So the Turkish people are kind, is what you're trying to say.
Some of the most amazing people I've ever met. Like, honestly, we literally had no money because we were in Paris for 2 days just before going to Turkey. And in that 2 days, he was pickpocketed. So he had nothing, no ID, no cards, no nothing. So I said, that's fine. We're flying to Turkey tomorrow. I will go to an ATM machine. I'll plot some cash. And it's really late at night when we get there, like middle of the night, middle of Turkey. No one speaks English where we are. And I asked the driver to bring us to an ATM. And I go in and it keeps rejecting my card. And I look at my card and it's expired. My debit card's expired. And like 2 months ago it expired. But they never sent me a replacement. That's how I know it's time for a new card. So I kind of blame the bank for that. Not my fault.
Definitely not.
No,
Certainly not.
It can't be your fault. You know what? That's such a pro tip, because I've been pickpocketed in Spain. I was only 19 and they took me for like $400, which at the time I felt like
everything
I was rich.
I had.
Actually, you know what? That was pretty much everything that I had at the time. So $400 cash. It was like my second to last day. I almost made it out of Spain. Boom, unscathed. But they got me in the metro. Someone bumped into me, and then I was wearing these stupid big cargo pants. Thank God no one does. Jeans? No, not quite Janko jeans, but they were legit cargo pants. And I'm glad that those ended, and all the pictures of me I burnt. But
I was just gonna say, let me see this shit.
No, it was terrible. So someone bumps me, and then someone gets in my pocket, sniffs it out, and then I'm in a crowd of people, and I go to reach in my pocket, and it's just nothing but clean air. And I was like, shit. And it had everything. And then, so I never really put 2 and 2 together, but I realized, pickpocketing in Europe is a thing. And it's happened to 2 people that we know, me and Cait. I'm sure there's thousands and thousands more, but that's such a pro move to only keep half of your cards and half of your money in your wallet, and then keep the other back at the hotel. Did we just make a pro tip here? Split your money.
Pro tip.
Yeah, I can make that happen. Pro tip, don't have every dime you own in cash in your pocket.
In your pocket. Even if you only
Pro tip, renew your debit cards.
Renew them. Yeah.
Yes, renew them. I literally want to go in my wallet right now. I bet mine's expired.
Yeah.
I never use it.
How many people listening are secretly checking their wallet after this?
Check it right now.
We have 100. We have 111 listeners, probably since our last Twitter stunt, maybe 115. So I'd say at least 10 or 12 are probably checking.
No, let's go to the scoreboard. Let's find out. Do we have some live people calling in? But you know what? It's funny. An antithesis to the pickpocketing, because like pickpocketing is sad, and you're kind of like, people, why are you doing this? An antithesis, or like the anti-story to that, is we were in Iceland and Andrew lost his wallet. See, now I got pickpocketed once. Andrew just like lost his wallet. I don't know. We're somewhere up in the Iceland highlands. I don't know. He lost his wallet.
You're like, I was targeted. His was done.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Poor Andrew. Do not talk bad about that gem of a man.
No, he is a gem. He puts up with so much. But he lost his wallet. I was like, oh my gosh, like, what are we going to do? We still have to drive all around Iceland. Well, someone suggested he go to the local police station to see if it had been turned in. I'm like, what? Who is going to not only find a wallet, but go out of their way to go drop it off safely for, an authority figure? So we go there, the gentleman, speaking to us, he heads in the back, comes out, Andrew's wallet is there. Some wonderful Icelandic citizen.
Oh my
took
God.
Time
The
out of
Icelandic
day.
people.
They're so wonderful.
I know one guy from Iceland, and he too would do that. He's the nicest person I've ever met. He helps us with no expectation of anything in return. And I can't think of anyone more kind now that you say that. The people of Iceland.
What's his name? Give him a shout out.
Sven is a badass.
Sven, shout out on please listen to the pod.
Please listen to the pod. If you are listening, you are one of the nicest people I ever met. And we actually took him to steak dinner in Las Vegas. And he's super nice. So everyone go to Iceland. You'll meet Sven.
The ambassador of Iceland, obviously.
The ambassador of Iceland. You'll meet Sven. That'll be great. You'll get to go do all the nice things there. And if you lose a wallet, rest assured, it'll be at the local police station. No problems in Iceland.
Oh my gosh. We'll get over there. We'll get over there one day. I want to hang out in those lagoons.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Blue Lagoon. Did you do the Blue Lagoon, Cait?
Of course we did.
Of
It's on
course.
Instagram.
She's like, duh.
Anything on Instagram, I'm so in.
Hello. Yeah, that's always the first thing. Like when you type in Iceland, that's like the first thing that pops up is a picture of the lagoons. I think that's the
just built a
most
hotel
popular
there, too.
tourist attraction. Yeah.
Did they? How much is a room night at the Blue Lagoon?
I looked it up a long time ago.
As you guys chat, I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Oh my
They
gosh.
look gorgeous. It's like their equivalent of the over water bungalows. It's just like an over lagoon, room.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of cool. So,
Kate, you're so cool that you've just like you are. You've done so much and you've been to so many places, and it's just like you've also been places where people never get to go in their whole lifetimes. Like these places in Africa you've been to, and you stayed at a giraffe hotel. I know you were telling me about that. Like Kate has touched a giraffe, you guys.
Oh, the giraffe like practically came into our room. I mean, like his whole head was like inside the room at that's Giraffe Manor. So in Kenya.
How do you feel like traveling as much as you have has like changed you? Like how has it affected who you are? Because you've been to some wild places.
I mean, gosh, that's such like a big question. I definitely feel like no, I know, and it's a great question. It's given me a love for an appreciation for so much. Like I know it's obviously a privilege to be able to travel the way that we do, and I don't lose sight of that. And then just seeing and learning from other people, hearing how other people live and how they, like what our perceptions might be from, our small corner of the world versus, what other people perceive us, and like just kind of getting to know each other in a more authentic way. There's also a love for the planet I've developed, and we've been to the Great Barrier Reef and seen how it's needs to be regenerated. It wasn't as colorful as I would have expected. We've been to Thailand and Indonesia, where we've seen the effects of over-tourism as well. I know that during COVID, some of those places were able to kind of rest and come back a little bit. So just an appreciation for the privilege, but also for the beauty of this world. So I always try after leaving a country or wherever I've been to do something to give back to that local community, whether it's donating or offsetting my carbon footprint, just something, because I know it's a privilege to travel. I know I have a responsibility to do it in a sustainable way. So not perfect. Definitely there's people out there doing much more, but I just try to do what I can and share those stories with others.
Yeah, me and Connor are those people who do much less than that.
Hi, it's me.
Hi, it's us. Nice to meet you, Kate. Thanks for your donation.
I love what you just said, though, about like letting it rest. You don't really think of it in those terms, but like Machu Picchu is about to be closed to the public because it needs to rest. It needs to like have alone time because we're humans and we ruin everything. But you're so right. Oh my gosh. And the Great Barrier Reef was like still cool, but you're like, okay, everything is bleached. There aren't as many critters as they said they were going to be. You can feel it.
People
when
doing
you're
good work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's people doing good work. And
I
awareness.
hear it's coming back. I
It
hear
is.
it's actually
I've heard
like
that too.
doing a lot better. So that's really good news.
All right. I have the final number for the retreat at
Hit
Blue
us.
Lagoon, Iceland. What do you guys think it is? I have just a random Thursday night at the Blue Lagoon in Iceland. Give me what you think it's worth. One room night.
Is this in kroner or USD?
Now we're going USD.
USD. Gosh, it's expensive in Iceland.
425.
Okay, Kate, you're going what?
I said 400.
400. Connor Ann, what's your guess?
I said 425.
425. You're both thinking on the same wavelength, and you're both off by about $1,000. So one night at the retreat, $1,398.
No. You're lying.
I'm not lying. We will put it up on the screen for our viewers on YouTube and Spotify. But yeah, $1,400 to stay one night at the retreat at Blue Lagoon. But that's actually on par with some like elite hotels. So for example, if you were to go golf at Pebble Beach and you wanted to guarantee yourself a tee time, you'd pay about $1,100 to $1,200 for a room night. And that's kind of in line with what like a Ritz-Carlton would be, or a Four Seasons in Maui. So that like $1,000 to $1,500 mark it's pretty much like market rate for ultra luxury properties.
It's so expensive to have fun.
It's so expensive. I know. Jade Mountain in St. Lucia is around there too.
Oh, Jade Mountain. That's a badass place. Can we go there?
Please.
Connor, can you reach out to them and see if they do any like influencer stuff? Because we'd love to do some on-site stuff. We have a very big following of meeting planners. Jade Mountain.
Crafting the email right now. Hi, I know you don't know me, but you should let me and my friends stay for free.
Yeah, we run a super large podcast called Travel Nerds. We downplay our listeners and say it's only 111. But even if it was 111, it's 111 of the most powerful, rich people in the world. So you want them seeing your property, right? Yeah,
totally.
Of
course.
100%. Less nerdy than we sound. I love it. Speaking of traveling with groups, we're definitely going to go to Jade Mountain as a group on a trip. Obviously. Kenny and I, on our last episode, talked about like traveling with couples and with your friends and having like a group trip and kind of the logistics of that. Having different travel styles and stuff. And I'm sure you and Andrew have definitely traveled with your friends before. Do you have any like pro tips for couples or just groups going on a trip together? Like, I know that can get sticky sometimes.
Yeah, I would say if you plan the trip, you make the rules. And that's how I have survived in my marriage thus far.
Oh, wow. So do you and Andrew trade off planning the trip?
No,
you just plan all the trips, so you always make the rules?
She said no.
Wait, so you made the rule. If you plan the trips, you make the rules, and then you're the only one that plans the trip. That sounds like the most authoritarian thing. And Andrew just goes along with it.
No, well, hold on.
I'm sticking up for Andrew.
Yeah, I know. You guys are thick as thieves.
Kate's teaching me how to be married.
Honestly, we have very different travel styles, Andrew and myself. Andrew likes to relax on vacation and be comfortable and sleep in and be spontaneous, right? Doesn't that sound crazy and horrible? Ugh. I like to seize the day and get up early and have an itinerary.
Seize it.
And be uncomfortable and be adventurous. So, honestly, I do a lot of the planning, and Andrew is very accommodating. In order to keep our marriage alive, I just try to consider him. It's about being considerate. So if you're with a lot of people, it's allowing, hey, if you want to do this for a little bit and I do my own thing, we'll come back together later. And it's just trying to be considerate of different travel styles. I did once make Andrew camp in a camper van for 12 days at the bottom of Argentina.
Like
he brings it up to this day. I will never not hear about this trip.
That sounds terrible to me.
No, but that is the pro move if you're married and there's something that, you got roped into and then it goes horrible. In the moment, you don't berate them. You don't make them feel bad, but you do always hang on to it because you need trump cards, right? Because like marriages can be dynamic and you need that trump card of like, hey, oh, you don't want to go to dinner with these people? You remember when I was in a van in some crazy country sleeping with bugs? We didn't know where our next meal was going to be. Remember that? Yeah, let's go to dinner. You put on the lipstick, put on the smile, and let's go to dinner.
Oh
my gosh.
You
a trump card.
Has Andrew ever pulled it? Has Andrew ever pulled a trump card like that? Or he's so nice that he won't even do it.
Yeah,
he's so
that's not his style. He's so nice. I really don't deserve him. I just don't. But he will bring it up many, many times. Like it's been years and it's still, we still hear about this trip. There were some highlights of the trip. There were some really beautiful parts, but all we hear about is like, oh, it was a stick shift and I had to drive the whole way. And like the wheel was like shaky and yeah.
That
Poor
is so
Andrew.
cute.
I know.
That's love.
But I won't do that again. Like I check, I'm like, if we do a camper van in Norway, can we do like a couple nights in a camper van and then we'll stay at a nicer hotel with a hot tub for you?
Compromise.
Nice. Compromise.
Oh, and he doesn't even roast you. That's true love.
I know. He's great.
So
He's
cute.
charming.
Yeah. And just to the female listeners, don't be DMing Andrew, okay? Because we've hyped him up on this podcast and we're not even giving you his last name. You're going to have to work for it. No DMing him. He's married and Cait and Andrew are one of our best couple friends. So no women be coming for
Off the market, dude. Don't even think about it. Oh, you girls.
It won't work anyway, so I'm not concerned.
Cait's like, shoot your best shot, ladies.
Yeah, she's like, actually? Oh, Cait, I'm so happy you're here. Okay, you're on Travel Nerds, so got to ask you the same question we ask everybody. What do you nerd out about?
In general or with travel?
In general.
In general, what are you a freaking nerd about?
Gosh, I'm just a nerd.
Corporate communications.
Oh my gosh, that's like the worst form of nerd.
I love writing a good press release.
I just love copy.
You know what? I first of all, I hate writing press releases. I will do it under duress, and I will write a damn good press release, but it is not my favorite thing to do. Well, in that vein, though, I am a little bit nerdy about grammar.
Ooh, you are. Yes.
I have many books on grammar and syntax, and I do enjoy reading them in my free time. I particularly love Oxford commas, and I will fight to the death about their necessity. Apostrophes in erroneous places really triggers me.
Yeah, big time. The
holidays are a really tough time. People are like, making their names possessive when there's no need for it, and apostrophe. Like it's just.
Okay, I was trying to title.
Right now.
I'm actually sweating talking about this syntax. I was trying to write the title of our episode last week, and it was "How to Survive Your Next Couples Trip." And I was like, "Couples with an apostrophe or couples with no apostrophe?"
There would be an apostrophe because it's possessive. It's the trip of the couples, and if there are multiple couples.
People, I'm sorry. I went no apostrophe.
Everyone's like, they're turning off the podcast right now. Like,
exit. Skip.
40 minutes in, they're like,
listen, lay off that skip button, guys. You need a little grammar with your travel tales.
Man. I really blew it. Yeah. I got overwhelmed by the possibility of the apostrophe, and I Googled it, and Google was too contradicting. I said, fuck it.
Well, it can be difficult sometimes. Totally understand. But if you ever have any questions about the usage of apostrophes or commas, you can just call me directly.
DM.
Slide into my DMs. We'll talk punctuation.
Cait and I's text messages are just going to be like, how do you spell this? How do you
format this? Do not ask me spelling. That's different.
Could you imagine if this clip goes viral and people are just DMing Cait? Her inbox is full of DMs with people just asking about like apostrophes and commas. I kind of want that for you.
Yeah.
There is a subset of people that are pretty passionate. And
are you guys in like a Facebook group?
Yeah, Cait's like, there are more of us.
There are people that defend the Oxford comma, and then people that like love APA style, which does not use the Oxford comma, which is wrong.
APA, I remember that from college English.
Do you know what's so weird is I thought that maybe you were the first person that I've ever met that was so passionate about the Oxford comma, but I think my college girlfriend also is an Oxford comma lover.
There's a club.
Yeah, there's more than
t-shirts.
Yeah, I'm almost certain there is a club. There is t-shirts, and there's like a secret ritual. If I'm remembering, that's a little bit weird.
There's a sacrifice involved.
She's like deadpan.
Yeah. Why are you laughing?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, that was one of the funner answers I've ever received. She's a grammar nerd, y'all. Actually, she's specifically an Oxford comma nerd.
Yes.
Focused and dedicated.
Yeah, very dedicated. And a travel nerd. And thank you so much for hanging out with us today. You're always fun.
You guys are so cool. This is awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, you guys, check out Travel Nerds. We got at Travel Nerds Pod on Instagram, TikTok, travel_nerds on Twitter. And go check out our YouTube if you want to actually watch the episode. And Cait's really cute, so you probably should. All right, guys. Later, nerds.